YouTube, it's Nova. Welcome to another episode of the AVP 2 Let's Play. Last time we were trying to get back to the dropship, but those Xenomorphs were everywhere. We totally missed the rendezvous and had to rescue Sergeant Hall's team in a stolen APC. But then of course, Sergeant Hall got captured. We tried to save her. Had to try and rescue her from this really creepy, disgusting, gooey Xenomorph hive, but it was just too late. By the time we got there, she'd been impregnated by a chestburster, and there was nothing we could do. We barely escaped with our lives. In fact, there was a bit of an exciting chase all the way back to the APC with a lot of Xenomorphs on our tail. This time we're going to be picking up where we left off, trying to reach the forward observation pods. It's not going to be an easy journey. There's definitely going to be plenty more Xenomorph action. So yeah, I'll see you guys in game, and I really hope you enjoy. Let's go bug hunting.
What the hell is going on?
No response, sir. The gate won't open.
I don't think open sesame is gonna work, sir.
How about we use Duke as a battering ram?
Just get that door open. We're sitting ducks.
I'll go.
You've got more balls than brains, son. Exactly what this assignment calls for.
I rigged up an IR lens for you, but it'll drain your battery quickly. You'll only be able to use it for short stretches. Don't rely on it too much.
Like this mission ain't stupid enough without equipment problems.
Deal with it, Duke. Harrison, good luck.
Looking good, Frosty.
Alright, despite casualties, White Team has secured the southern landing. Clearly there are no survivors here. The forward pods remain another question, self-sufficient if highly isolated. They could have survived, however. Our attempts to contact them have failed. Either the landing is dead or the pods are. Either way, we'll have to drive there. 3 hours by APC. Let's hope the famed Dr. Eisenberg gives us a better greeting than our last. Alrighty. So we've got to ferry the APCs through these tunnels. And it seems like they have no power. And it says they're set up to get us to the observation pods. So, IR lens. Okay, so we got that. Night vision. But we'll drain our battery quickly. Sewer.
We're in business.
And I'll lock myself in. That way I know nothing's coming up behind me.
Alright, I got an update. Mother can't override the access codes as long as the tunnel security system remains online, so we're gonna have to do this the hard way. The tunnels are divided into sections by containment areas. Short tunnels gated on either end, similar to an airlock. With the security system active, only one gate in a section can be opened at a time. Mother thinks a single Marine on foot could allow an APC to move through the tunnel section by section. Harrison, I'm gonna need you to find the primary control terminal and shut it down. It should be just past tunnel section 4.
Okay, so section by section through the tunnels. It's actually not as dumb as it sounds as a strategy. He is very dead. Been dead for quite a while, I'd say. Okay, open sesame on the first door. I've often wondered how effective they are as tanks.
Once we're through, we'll provide fire support.
Open tunnel 2. Provide fire support once they're clear.
All right, you should be right near the next control station.
Transportation handling procedure. Live specimens are not allowed within the tunnel network without secure electrified containment systems. Larval specimens must be transported with a Class 4 stasis field. Convict labourers must be accompanied by passive electronic restraints. Okay, so don't transport live Xenomorph through the tunnels. Oh, I think we might have made a mess of that one. It's coming. Let's get ready. Ready, 2. That could have gone better. A lot better.
Good job, Harrison. Harrison, get that door open.
Don't actually think that was an alien. Get wrecked. I think that could have been the APC. Don't like the sound of that. Okay. Cleared those guys. Oh. Yeah. I knew the ambush was coming too. Okay. Nice though they didn't jump off when they should have. Okay.
We're in section 2.
It's getting
Watch your
quite
back.
tense in here.
It's gonna get hot. Hey, Major, we got a contingency plan? You want to take over for him, Duke? I didn't say nothing.
Actually, I just noticed if you look at the health monitor up in the top left, it has like a heart rate monitor like they did in the movie. That's kind of cool. It's very dark in here. We got him. So I mean, though, how it's quite tense. It's not somewhere I'd want to be if it was real. Okay, door's locked. Steam blocking that entry. Empty corridor. Tunnel access system will be closed for maintenance. Well, it may have been.
All right, Harrison, open containment area 2. You're on your own until they activate the gate on the other side.
What we got then? Smartgun bullets. Health. Okay, this is a great gun. The Smartgun was in the movies, and it auto tracks and targets enemies. From what I can remember, it's actually not like super high caliber, but it fires a lot of rounds. Okay, so that means we're probably going to have quite a lot of enemies in a second. So let's see what happens. Okay, so I think I have to hold down right click in order to track. No, to self, hold down right click when using smart gun. Only I go in there. Yeah, this game actually like does get you a bit on edge. For real. Need to discourage espionage. Although I understand the need to discourage espionage, I think the latest measures go beyond prudent safeguards by tying the security layer into the node protocol. You do prevent any unauthorized transmissions in the system, however the data layer is by definition an open layer and vulnerable to attack. The collapse of this layer could result in a cascade failure of the entire node tree. We're talking a cold reboot. 15 minutes down. Given the hostility of this world, I would hate to be without protection for 1 minute, let alone 15. I get what he's saying. Doesn't sound like a good idea. Is it gonna come through, or is that simply to frighten us? Oh, we picked up the torch. I was kind of sunny. I thought we were supposed to find something to cut this out. The cutting torch is very much a tool that you see in the movies, and any game that does anything to do with Alien tends to want to have the cutting torch in it. So, I've got to admit, I think this actually holds up pretty well from a survival point of view. And I don't know that I would say it's the greatest survival horror experience, but I think it actually does do a fairly decent job of capturing the feel of the movies. And I know I've said that a lot, but they go beyond just making it look like the movies. They incorporate, like, even some of the character tropes. Like, you've got Duke the Sergeant, who very much feels like Napalm from the movies. Like that happening, just the jump factor. I think I saw a pistol ammo in there. Then go with that was not worth it. So we won't be going back down there. That doesn't look suspect at all. Not sure I'm confident in that bridge. So we might scoot around it. Okay, got them. That's all our Smartgun bullets. It's just a bit of a bugger. I think that's that bug out there. It's fuel, right? Even like they get the company feel right. Like Eisenberg does feel like he is a scientist from the movies, like trying to find a way to harness the Xenomorph for some kind of nefarious purpose. Every time those bugs trip me out. Okay. I gotta admit, the very first time I played this game, I was maybe 14, and it really genuinely scared me. When I attempted the human campaign for the very first time. Is there anything up here? Let's just check out that other door first. Broken. Okay. So it looks like we're gonna have to drop in through the ceiling. I think the tension this gets is really good. Like, and it's something that some horror games do really well now, but a lot has sort of forgotten how to do it. Or at least do it well. There's a lot of kind of like cheap jump scares, and I know this game contains a lot of jump scares from what we've already seen, but they do feel a little bit different here, because it's not simply a matter of, let's see how big a fright we can give you. It's how do we make you feel like these things are actually stalking you. It's not just a computer game's AI.
Carter, Mulder, Quaid, you're up. Head for Section 4.
What is that? Oh, it might be one of those guys. They just named, maybe. So that's where they came through. Well, that hurt. Still some health there. I also like to say, I think they do a good job in terms of talking about some of the things to do with the way that the complex is being organised. Like, they lean into the chaos factor. So it's like the POC has gone down, the pods are trying to defend themselves, cut off anything. They're not just worried about the Xenomorphs and the mysterious cloaking people or the predators that are coming in. They're really paranoid about probably like people coming through from the POC who might have survived, who might be impregnated with alien larvae or chest bursters. So they're trying to cut off any access through the tunnels. But they've also, from what we read in that note earlier, tied the whole security system into the systems in this tunnel, and they're saying that if the tunnel is breached, it could bring down their security system. So that's a bit of an oversight, because that could actually lead to some pretty major problems for them. Excuse me. I may have made the mistake of starting a bit too late again, I think. I can hear them. Got him. Seems to be another one though. Got him. Is there anything important up here? Flip. Move. How do I get to whatever that is? Oh, hang on. Can I skirt this side? Yes, I can. Players, not as good as it could have been. Well, let's. We got Jill. But I think even now, like, my tracking's probably not picking it up yet really well because I'm still trying to work out some of the kinks with ARQ. But this game has actually now already frightened me. Look, not even like, oh my god, I'm terrified sense, more in a like,
Mayor, Stone, rendezvous with Harrison.
oops, I missed the cues that was coming. There was one thing I discovered about this, actually, the APC. This gun here is a machine gun, and if you happen to be anywhere in its range of fire when it hits an alien or targets an alien, it can actually kill you, which is kind of, actually I think, a neat detail. Well, that's the end of him.
The station is trashed. Luis tried to get it online. It's no use. We've got to get to the security control station.
Looks like there's a service tunnel that should take you to the main terminal.
Back into the vents.
Head right.
Well, that ruined that armor.
That's it. You're almost there. Okay, now straight up.
What's down this way? Nothing. Counter. He's up there. I knew it. Okay. Oh, it's the power loader. They had this in Aliens. Not going to give you any spoilers, but it's used not for combat normally, but proves to be quite dangerous in the right hands. So they're behind there. Okay, hold up for our torch just in case we need it.
All right, Marine. Now shut down that security console.
And I open the door. Oh, it's broken. I suppose that was the explosion I just made. Okay. Oh dear, I get it. This is the security system for the whole pods, which we're about to take down.
What's going
Well,
on,
this is
Major?
gonna go well.
Mother says the Weyland-Yutani schematics lack pertinent data, which means... Put it this way, if there are survivors at the pods, their situation just got a whole lot worse.
Yeah, that's what we just said. Wow, they rammed the door.
Looks like the pods are intact. I'm seeing survivors at the base.
Okay, so they're elevated above the ground. Decent defense mechanism, I suppose.
Gentlemen, welcome to the forward observation pods.
You took down our defense
And welcome to
grid.
you.
Your corporation decided we didn't
You
need the
locked us out,
complete
idiot.
details of your security protocols.
We made alterations. You can never be too safe.
Apparently you can. Regardless, my
Except
men
you
are
made
ready to
yourselves
deploy
less safe.
immediately if necessary.
You're too late. We've repaired what can be repaired. 6 of my men died today.
Sorry to hear that. But the situation is contained?
We're still assessing the situation. The pods are intact, but we have teams in the field for biological and archaeological research.
Even after what happened to the POC?
This facility is self-contained. With security running
Does
properly,
seem
we're
kind
perfectly
of
safe.
strange.
Besides, we've wired the tunnels with charges. We can seal them remotely in case of contamination.
3 teams still haven't reported. You may have killed
Because
more
you're
than we
killing
know.
how many people,
We'll do
though,
whatever
can
we
you
can to
secure
get
them?
them out.
We should move inside.
I'd like to reestablish our communication link with the POC.
I'm afraid the landline was severed when the facility was overrun.
We've set up a booster transmitter in the tunnels. With your permission, my soldiers can modify your software to utilize our transmitter.
Of course.
If you could lend us a terminal, Harrison here can perform the work.
Technician Styles, please take this gentleman to the control deck. Assist him in any way necessary.
Okay, so
Isolate
we're
the
going
Marines'
up alone.
communication channels. We don't want them asking embarrassing questions of pod personnel. You prepared the rosters?
Yes, General.
Here we go.
Will it hold up to investigation?
Without bodies, who can prove where they died? In the tunnels, as we'll claim, or 6
Where they
weeks ago
died?
in the POC?
We do what we must. Go then.
I actually didn't remember that. I suppose it makes sense. If they've been doing something dodgy, they don't want anyone actually knowing about it, I guess. Okay, the good news, we have found survivors, Dr. Eisenberg and his head of security, General Rykov. They greeted us on arrival, only they weren't happy. Reportedly, Mother's virus didn't just take down the tunnel security, it also tore a hole in the pod's defense grid big enough for a herd of bugs to run through. Of course it did, so the bugs got through because the defenses went down. And that is why you don't tie your defenses into your main security grid for everything. You want redundancies. So if one system fails, the others don't. They'd had fatalities in the pod and lost contact with a large archaeological team, 24 scientists and labourers. I've offered to assist Study with getting Harrison to restore contact to the Verloc. That's our ship. We may be needing her cold sleep chambers for emergency medical evacuation. Please tell me that means if someone gets severely wounded, you're putting him in there until they can get better medical help. You're not going to get people who've been impregnated with Xenomorphs and try and take them back to Gateway. That is just the dumbest thing you could possibly do. Well guys, I know we've just started a new level, but I think that's probably a good spot to leave this one. I might have to split this one in two, we'll see. If I do, that's 2 shorter episodes. I hope you enjoyed. Next time we'll come and see what's going on in the pods, and hopefully try not to get killed, because it sounds like Rykov doesn't like us, so let's see if we can avoid that. Okay, thanks for watching guys. If you liked the videos, like and subscribe, and I'll see you in the next one.